Fikeni. Thank you very much for your time, Professor.
Thank you for inviting me.
I want to start off by finding about the processes of nomination allow anyone to stand, but we know that without the right kind of backing, success in a campaign is anyone's guess. So doesn't Mtshali Dlamini have the right kind of backing within the ANC to possibly secure a win?
Well, I do think that after being a prominent face of the fees must fall, roads must fall in the universities, he has gained enough national profile and he has shown his independence and even ability to work with the other parties at the same time, not being tainted for supporting the previous, ANC leadership per se. So that in itself might put him in a better position, and he might actually be in a better space to woo the youth and reclaim those who have been taken by the other competitors.
So in terms of independence, is that something that we've seen? We know it's a very key leadership attribute, but is it something that we've seen in the ANC Youth League leadership in the past few years? And what kind of dynamic do you think that Mtshali Dlamini would bring to the leadership if he would succeed?
Certainly, because the weakness of the current and the recent leadership has been the one of being obsessed with the politics of leadership succession and faction battles within the ANC, instead of providing and speaking to the issues of the youth. They spent most of the time dealing with the support of leadership. So having somebody who may bring dynamism, radicalism, and yet being autonomous and independent-minded, and ability to work with the other youth formations, that in itself I think would be crucial. Also remember that SASCO structures, ANC-aligned structures in the universities have been receiving a hammering in the SRC elections, which is an indication that both SASCO and the ANC Youth League has been very weak on the ground, and they need a new dynamic leadership, which might be a rupture from the recent past.
So we know that regardless of political party, often youth league branches or divisions are a way for the rest of the party to almost carry through or promote its agenda amongst the youth. With someone who is independent and autonomous and radical and tends to challenge people like Mtshali Dlamini has shown himself to do you think the current ANC leadership would be supportive of someone with that level of autonomy?
They may be nervous given their experience with Julius Malema in the previous past, but at the same time, the historic role of the Youth League has been the one of agitating for more radical policy positions, the one of agitating for the programs that speak to the youth directly. You remember the ANC Youth League of Mandela, Sisulu, Sobukwe, Lebede of the 40s. They agitated for the changes within the ANC leadership to a more radical mass-based organization. And also remember in the 70s, the youth of the Black Consciousness Movement and the other formations at the time, they also injected a sense of radicalism. And it is for that reason that the politics within the universities were a reminder of those previous generations.
Do you think that perhaps Dlamini is a more current representation of the youth? There has been criticism in the past that Youth League leadership is so far removed just in terms of age from the actual youth that they are no longer representative of the core views and values and those issues that are most pertinent to the youth. Do you think that would be also a step in the right direction for Dlamini?
The credentials I've presented do present him as a credible candidate for that. And therefore, I do think that he would be presenting an alternative to what has been happening within the Youth League leadership, because the current Youth League leadership got entrapped in the factional battles of the ANC. And in that process, they consumed and squandered the political capital they had, which needed them to focus on the youth issues.
How key do you think is next year's elections going to be in determining who takes over leadership of the ANC Youth League ahead of those elections in terms of trying to draw away, as you said, support from other parties?
For the ANC, it is crucial that they actually have an organ that has a mass appeal amongst the youth, amongst the minorities, because in the last few elections, they have been losing the minorities, they have been losing the youth, they have been losing the black middle class, and even the working class. So all those organs and the alliance partners would need to be strong enough to recover that lost ground.
Thank you very much for that analysis. That was Professor Somadoda Fikeni.